Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I want to talk about this curve. First thing you'll notice right away is that it looks like it's upside down. Okay, so what's happening is the force sensors I have are designed to be pulled on, and this is a push. And it works both ways, but it shows that it's negative because it interprets the push as being negative. If you look at the shape, it's exactly the shape I described in the class. So we have our trace here or it shows that we have that engine burn causing a lot of force right there, and then it kind of levels off, and then it goes to the smoke, and probably right in here is where the charge goes off to deploy the parachute. And the reason it's not real big is because it's ejecting gases from the front and the back at the same time, so it's not going to have that dramatic spike there. So a couple of things you need to do with this. You need to do an integral, and you need to find the summary statistics. So what we're going to do is we're just going to choose this area where it looks like, why don't we do this? We're going to capture all this and zoom in on just the burn. That's what we want to look at. So I kind of go before and after, click on zoom in, and now we see this trace. So right here somewhere is where the engine starts, and right here somewhere is where it ends. So I'm just going to kind of pick this line here. It doesn't have to cover up the whole line. You just need to get from the beginning to what you think is the end. And you can see it's kind of iffy right here. It's kind of iffy right here. I'll let you pick those. But the button we want to use right here that's going to do this math for us is the integral button. So we click on that, and it spits out a number right here. It says that the integral for this trace is negative 4.169 Newton seconds. And what that represents is the area in newtons times seconds of this shape below zero. Okay? So that's what that's telling us. And that is your total impulse. So that's one of the important numbers. Another thing you need to do while you have that same selection active is click the statistics button, the one that has 1/2. And this is going to tell you some important things right here. It shows that the most negative number, this is the highest force, was negative 11.73. And that's this spike right here. So that's the most force we saw. So I'm going to close those. So those are that's some information you're going to need to look at, integrals and statistics. Then we're going to go over here to, let me go auto scale. Right here, you can see this is the area where it's just making smoke but not thrust, and somewhere in here, and I'm going to let you decide where it is, and your engine design parameters may give you some indication about where it is, but you're going to tell me which one of these points is the ejection of the parachute. Okay. Also, let's talk about timing here on this graph. So I'm going to go to auto scale. And right here, we're going to choose, let's say you wanted to measure the time from here to that point. Okay, so just select that area. You'll notice this starts at 17.55. And again, this is just kind of a ballpark number. It's going to be hard because of that curve. Where do you pick out in that curve? It's up to you. So we're going to go from 17.55 all the way to 20.9. And that's where that spike is. All right, let's talk about one concern that I have is that it's about sample rate on this data. And I think we should have had the sample rate set much higher than what we used. I used 20 samples every second. So that means that every second that goes by, we collected 20 measurements. And I think I should have picked a higher number than that. It defaulted to 10. I increased it to 20, and I should have gone higher. So let's look at this zone right here. We're going to zoom in on this. If you look at this, there's this one spike right here. So if I just get that little spike, you can see in our list that shows 11.73. So I'm going to click these 3 points, and we're going to zoom out a little bit and look at that zone. So right there is our maximum thrust we hit. And when you look at this, I don't think we caught the highest number. I think it happened between the 7 and the 11, or between the 11 and the 8, because this could have been an up going from 7 to 11. It might have gone to 15 or 20, and then, or it could have been right here after 11. It could have gone up to 15 or 20 and come back down to 8. I don't think we have enough measurements here at the spike to tell us what happened. So next time we do this, I probably need to double that sample rate and collect like 40 or 50 measurements. So one of the things I'm expecting to see on this lab is a lot of the numbers that we need to see, like the maximum thrust and the total impulse, are probably going to be a little bit low, and it's because of sample rate. We should have used a higher rate of data collection than 20 times per second. All right, that's enough for now. I'll have more instructions in the assignment.